Welcome back to Higurashi One Day Cry Part 3. Uh, I seem to be filming all these videos on a Saturday and be able to release them on Monday. So, I guess Saturday I record and Monday we release. So, yeah. Well, I'm just glad to be here and yeah, like, dude, third week in a row? Well, technically second week, but hey, we ball. Let's go. Yeah, we last episode I finished chapter 1 or we or something. You read the tips? Yeah. And now we continue. Let's get it rolling. I might have to I'm gonna raise the volume a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Anyway, lunchtime has finally arrived. Mion gleefully announced the beginning of lunch. Oh ho ho ho. Lunchtime at last. Someone here will have to play the punishment game, yes. How? The punishment this time, it's a little scary, so. Sorry, but Reina went all out on making her bento. Wow. She was scared. In Reina's case, I don't think she'd lose even if she wasn't taking it seriously. I'm not saying that. We tried our hardest to... Satoko and Rika made us separate lunches today. Usually you have the same bento, but that won't do for the showdown today, will it? Yes, it's quite alright. Rika and I made sure to make separate ones. Wow, Satoko and Rika both really tried really hard. How exciting! What's a little surprising is that Kei-chan was able to make a bento. Good job, Kei-chan. It looks like you really can do it if you try. I scratched my head and gave her a dry smile. My bento today has been made entirely by Satoko last night. I had none of my personality, so there wasn't anything there that they could praise me for. What does Kei-kun's bento look like? I said K. It's Keiichi. How? I can't wait to see. Don't expect much. It's just leftover rice and side dishes from last night. Leftovers are the foundation of bentos. Ho ho ho. Now we'll know your dinner last night too. We'll kill two birds with one stone. Was it really better to hide the fact that Satoko came over and made dinner last night? Well, of course it was. If I revealed that I didn't make my own bento, I'd be sure to end up playing the punishment game. Today's punishment game was to stand right in front of the curry maniac Chie-sensei and say bad things about curry. It wasn't too different from telling someone to jump off a 100th story window. It was exactly the same as telling someone to die. But, Mi-chan, how will we decide who wins and loses the bento showdown? Keiichi made his own bento, so maybe we should call it a draw for today. She's gonna be like, no. We could do that. The punishment game yesterday was sort of a whip to encourage Keiichi to cook for himself after all. And Keiichi made his own too, so it's a draw. My simple bento with last night's leftovers could never have stood up to everyone else's bento that they made to win. I fully understood Satoko and Rika's concern for me as they tried to end the showdown peacefully. However, the club president Mion Sonozaki would not be convinced by something like that. No. I wonder why you're all so optimistic, leaving one of our showdowns in such a gray area. In such a gray area is out of the question. Now that we've clashed, we must settle the score. Reconciling with a draw only happens in the Yakuza world. I knew you'd say that. There's no way you'd end it that way with your battle of lust. This was bad. At this rate, I was sure to be a sore loser. A soul loser. But, well, I didn't make this bento, after all. Maybe I need to resign myself to my inevitable loss. Okay, how are we going to decide who wins? It won't be fair if we grade each other's. Let's do an open judgment. Okay, everyone, assemble! Mion commanded everyone who just started eating, using her club president voice. Come and judge our 5 bento. Write your favorite 3 on a piece of paper and submit it. Your favorite 3. Aren't there how many of them are there? Mion, Shaffer, Reina, Rika, man, I forgot. It's been a while. 2 little girls, 2 tall girls, and 1 guy. It's 5. Why 3? There's gonna be 2 left over. Okay. Understand? Everyone in the class was used to being dragged into Mion's club activities. Yeah, came the energetic voices from here and there. Everyone already knew that the showdown this time involved an utterly fatal punishment game, and they were all very interested in what would happen to whoever lost. Of course, they wanted the thrill of seeing someone get terrified. Okay, everyone ready? Then I'll go first, alright? Ta-da! In exaggerated fashion, Mion pulled out the lid off her multi-tiered, ornate bento box. I have never heard the word ornate in my life. Multiple cheers of joy erupted up at the brilliant sight. That's amazing! It's just like New Year's food. It can't be. It has to be a lie. She must have had switched the contents with the catered bento. Such purely Japanese cooking. Mion Sonozaki couldn't possibly make this. Nope. This is easy for Mi-chan if she gets serious. She almost never gets serious though. Is she just good at everything? Oh yeah, she is. Cool. Just who do you think this old man is? Given enough time and ingredients, I could even reproduce the Manchu Han Imperial Feast. The entire classroom gulped audibly, and everyone wrote down the score on the notepaper in their hands simultaneously. It made sense. Just the visual impact would give her a perfect score. Alright, let's see Reina's next. Reina's really good at cooking too. Reina's bento is always like a flower arrangement. Ha ha ha. Thanks everyone. I'll reveal my bento now. Hey! Reina's bento was a beautiful mix of 2 colors of eggs and minced meat, and it too was a bento staple, the Saburo bento. I don't know what that is. She had been thorough with the side dishes as well, and they were abundant in number. I'd say the only words that I have trouble with a lot of words, but I'd say specifically it'd be words that start off with THO. Thorough, through, they all kind of just mix in my head. She had spent more time than usual on it, but it was unassuming and truly nonchalant. One couldn't ignore the household warmth in it that Mion's bento box lacked. If I may say, you've done it again. This should get quite a high score. I should have known. It may look rigid, but there isn't anything that deducts points from. Amazing as always. Once again, everyone Every one of the judges wrote a score on their notepaper at the same time. There seemed to be some who were revising their opinions when they compared it to Mion's score too. The whole classroom seemed split between Mion and Reina, and on everyone's face it was clear that they all wanted to be tasting them rather than scoring them. Then, we'll be next. Yeah, I will now reveal mine. Come to think of it, Satoko and Rika ate with me last night at my house. It was impressive that they still made bento. Both of their bentos were clearly lacking compared to Mion's artfulness and Reina's perfection. However, because of that, you can sense from them how hard they work. The toppings were a little on the rough side, but you could still feel that they tried their hardest. It made you feel a little biased, so that you'd give them more points. A few people struck by just that once again revised their opinions and wrote in scores in their note paper. Satoko, Rika, you both made really good bentos today. They might not measure up to Reina or Mion's craftsmanship, but when you think about that, they're pretty amazing. Satoko and Rika glanced at each other and grinned happily. This is a secret, okay? Mutter. Huh? What? When Satoko told me, I broke off from the others and secretly looked at my classmates' bento boxes. Their Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's bento boxes. I took a quick peek inside and half of the contents were missing. Not bad. In the end, Satoko and Rika hadn't made bento today. A bold move. They got Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun to share their bentos with them. Hey Tomita, Okamura, how'd they buy you out? What are you saying, Moribara-san? When did you get bought out? And for what? When did we? That's right. It's not like we traded them for our duty watering the garden for half of our bentos. Curse you, Satoko. What an impudent trick. Satoko grinned, showing her fang-like canines, and laughed in triumph. Oh, this is only something I learned from you, K-san. Oh, shoot. K-san, oh my gosh. Yes, oh ho ho ho. How naive. Buying them out with watering duty alone. They're men. If you're going to buy them out, you need to use something a lot spicier than that. For example, like giving them 3 tickets to walk Satoko and Rika around like dogs all day on all fours, riding tails with leashes on their necks. Very specific. What? That might be enough to get me to do anything. That's a little weird, but okay. As I was lost in my wild fantasies, Mion clapped me on the shoulder and called me back to reality. Damn, it was just getting good. Alright, next up is K-chan's bento. We're all hoping for something pretty great because of your declaration yesterday. But how did it really turn out? K, can you do it? K-kun can do it if he needs to. Reina was really excited for today. They're all looking forward to it. But it's really just leftovers from dinner last night. I didn't even make it either. How was it supposed to stand up to Mion and Reina and the others? That's it. Feast your eyes on this! I tore the lid off my bento box. The food went flying. There weren't many cheers. Well, I guess there wouldn't be. Ken, you tried your hardest too. Reina can tell how hard you worked. Reina, don't feel like you need to compliment me. How did this happen? Was Kay actually a hard worker after all? Well, I mean, I want to acknowledge how hard you tried, but for this showdown, it doesn't matter. Mion's cold, laugh. Mion's cold, mean laugh. It was like it spoke for everyone's opinion, just like that. Kei did really well considering it was his first challenge, you know. I think maybe everyone should rate his a little higher. But for the showdown, it doesn't matter. Damn. Cool. Alright, Kei. If you have any last words before we tally up the results, I'll listen to them now. What do you mean by last words? I mean that you might be hoping for a few extra points if you appeal somehow to a crowd. After all, for today's showdown, you just need to avoid coming in last. If you do well enough, then maybe you'll be able to wear him out at your punishment game. You're implying that Kei-san's bento is going to take last place, aren't you? No, this old man wasn't trying to say anyone's bento came in last or anything. Mion cackled repulsively. Unconscious Satoko's smile was growing somehow awkward. Oh right, this bento was filled with last night's side dishes. That means it was basically bento that Satoko made. Hey, Mion outright said it would come in last. Mi-chan, aren't you being a little mean? Poor Keiichi. Reina. Kei knew he couldn't lose today's bento showdown beforehand, didn't he? He did all that grandstanding yesterday. Well aware of that. I don't think there's any reason to go easy on him, do you? Right, Satoko? Damn, why'd you wink to her? Yes, you're right. And he came here with this mess. It makes me laugh. Oh, imagine trashing your own food. That's crazy. Wait, Satoko, you can't laugh at him. But that bento is just so ridiculous, I can't help but laugh. These side dishes look like they were bought from a shop. It really is disillusioning. Look, this one was just taken out of a can, wasn't it? This cucumber here isn't cut cleanly, like the knife didn't go all the way through. Kei, you never used a knife, did you? Your lack of experience is apparent. No, this goes beyond the simple lack of experience. The presentation's fairly monotonous as well. It's almost a shock to see such a lack of taste. It was my first experience putting food into a bento box, so of course it's not going to look too good. Kei, there's a bigger problem than how you put it into the box. It feels like something's missing in that name, Tomita. Too simple. Okamura. Explain, please. Tomita and Okamura were chosen from our many underclassmen. Tomita quickly adjusted his glasses and took a step forward. A fatal flaw in Moribara-san's bento. It's a coloration. As you know, there are 3 primary colors, forming a basis of all colors. So if you want a well-balanced color scheme, then excluding white and black, you need these 3 colors. And nevertheless... Oh, the other guy. And nevertheless, if you remove the white and black from Moribara-san's bento, all that would be left is dark green. Dark green. No one would want to eat if you describe it like that. I'd forgotten. Tomita and Okamura had been bought out by Rika and Satoko, so they were trying their hardest to let him win and make me lose, weren't they? God, what strong wills they have. It was charming, if only because they were cooking so hard despite having been bought out. The side dishes have no spirit in them. Either they're all pre-packaged or canned food. In other words, out of the 3 necessary requirements for a bento, love, spirit, and taste, we can assert that Moribara-san's bento is lacking in 2 of these. I'm guessing it's in spirit and taste, and only has love. The classroom is convinced by the elucidation of the mystery that they were thoroughly baffled with, raised mysterious groans of admiration. No heart, no spirit. It's decided then. Keiichi Moribara. This may sound cold, but if you realize how much fun cooking is because of all of this, Keiichi, isn't that enough? In any case, everything is fine as long as I'm not doing the punishment game. Aheel. Reina was giving a dry hee-hee smile as well. Satoko just got annihilated. She basically just put like in cage. He just dared to take bullets for her. It's been settled, Keiichi-san. You're going to be the one doing the punishment game. Oh, 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 oh. She laughed in such a vile manner, but she didn't look like she meant it. I knew that Satoko was speaking ill of a bento that she practically made herself in front of the whole classroom, and I could tell how painful that laughter was. Okamura said before that this bento lacked spirit, but among all the bento made out here today, there wasn't a single one with as much spirit as this one. This meal she made for me today is in such a good mood, though it looked like she was in a bad one. I won't let it end with this slander. Well then, last place, Keiichi-san. Please admit your honest defeat already. Could you wait just a moment? When I began to speak in a low voice, the expression of all the members of the club changed. Mion clicked their tongue. This man was baring his fangs at the last moment again. My bento was defeated because it lacked spirit. That's how you explain it. Am I wrong, Okamura-kun? Okamura, who had sadly been placed in the spotlight, looked flustered for a moment, but immediately he stammered and replied that I was right. How do you measure spirit? By difficulty? By effort? By sweat or tears? By its manifestation? Then how would you rate these burns that are still on my hands? Wow, Keiichi, those are oil burns? Great, the burn marks from when I almost caused a fire, so they look just like I was having a ton of trouble cooking. I could clearly tell that the classroom was forced to acknowledge the effort I put into it. I see. To turn your failures at cooking due to lack of skill into scars of hard work instead, as I thought I cannot falter around this man. That's right. I lack skill. I'm so bad at cooking that my grandstanding yesterday was pitiful. But I didn't run away. I fought, and I delivered these results. Is that not spirit? What do you think? Reina wants to acknowledge it. Nobody can keep on going if their defiant spirit doesn't get valued. The girls in the classroom started to nod in agreement. Okay, the tables are turning. But Tomita and Okamura-kun, bought out by the objects of their unrequited affection, weren't about to lose either. They shifted to the counterattack, clearly exceeding the price they were paid. I see. I understand your feelings, Moriba-san. However, if spirit was all that mattered in cooking, the world wouldn't need chefs. That's right. If a chef brought you a burned steak and said they put their spirit into it and tried really hard, would you pay them? You wouldn't, would you? It's the same thing. That's right. That's how it goes. The male students took Tomita and Okamura aside. They did have a point. What about consideration? Even if you did get a totally black steak, if I knew how much the mother who made it struggled, I would eat it. I would eat it all. Clap, clap, clap. This time the female students in the class took my side. Good. Now we're even. Besides, a bento is a refinement of one's love given. Form. It only means something when the other person feels that way. Does your bento make us feel that way, Moriba-san? No, it doesn't make me feel that way. You're mean! The girls in the class began to boo loudly at this remark. Now even Okamura was panicking. Order! Will the spectators please refrain from making remarks? Your Honor, in order to prove how much my spirit has gone into this bento, I call Mrs. Ryugu Reina, an authority in the culinary arts, to the stand. Reina thinks his bento has spirit in it. It might be rather artless in places, but I think cooking isn't just about outward appearances. The girls in the class again gave cries of support as they all applauded. In response, all the men in the class began to boo. Your Honor, the opinions of Moriba-san and Ryugu-san are extremely sentimental and aren't in following with common sense. They're unsuitable to use as evidence. Order, order. The prosecution's objection is sustained. Go ahead. Ahem. Let's replace the bento in question with a birthday present, for example. Let's say on my birthday, I, Tomita, received a hand-knitted sweater, and he, Okamura, received a bookstore gift certification for 10,000 yen. That feels strangely real. Was it actually just an example? Common sense dictates which of them has the spirit. It is, of course. Wait, what the fuck? Common sense dictates which of them has the spirit. It is, of course, the hand-knitted sweater. If we went back to the bento, this would be a handmade side dishes. And the gift certificate, which is nothing more than money, allows you to buy things. In other words, it's the same as simple, meaningless canned goods. I don't know if I agree with that, because you still have to work hard to be able to acquire currency for you to like spare for someone else. Maybe the music, I'm feeling that the music is too loud right now. I'm gonna lower it. I feel like I lowered it by like a cent, like 2% or something, but I feel like if like it takes months to get money, right? You have to work for like a whole month to get your paycheck, or maybe a week. But that's still like a lot more hard work than a single day of work. Well, maybe you're not knitting a sweater in a week, in like a month, but I'm pretty sure you're not knitting a sweater in like. Depends on the person's skill. It all depends. It all depends. Even canned goods, like even there are some people that can't even cook with canned goods. The boys and girls all began to argue amongst themselves about the presents. They were all talking about what they received as presents in the past. Damn, Tomita-kun. He changed the subject to something that they could easily grab everyone's attention. Not bad. I'll lose the initiative at this rate. Objection! This matter regards the spirit put into the bento. It is entirely different from birthday presents, as they are each unique situations. Overruled. Will the prosecution please continue? Damn! Now then, what's important here is the fact that the spirit of the giver and the spirit of the receiver are totally different. Between the handmade sweater that looks a bit askew and the 10,000 yen bookstore gift certificate placed here before your very eyes, which would you say is the better choice? The gift certificate, right? It's 10,000. 10,000 yen. Can you calculate how many comic books you could buy with that? You could instantly complete a full collection if it was around 10 volumes long. Dozens of happy, humorous, slightly perverted manga. The bliss of your suited heart can't be compared to the sweater. The boys unanimously praised that with applause. Materialistic brats. But all guys that age are like that. Even I would choose a gift certificate over the sweater in that case. Hey, wait, weren't you guys the ones that said that it was about love, spirit, and the taste right at the start? Since when did taste trump all? That's a stance they were taking now. I believe this has demonstrated that the spirit of the giver and the spirit of the receiver have no casual relationship. Yes, no matter how much more Brasan struggled to make this bento, that cannot enter into consideration for the rest of us on the receiving end. Holy shrimp, but what the fuck is that word? Sufficient? Damn! Where did my mans pick up this word? Mere sophistry, Tomita-kun. It has plenty of spirit. Whether it gets through or not in this not is the receiver's problem. But that's right, boo! Taste is more important. Enemy of women. Oh, enemy of women? What was that ugly? Damn, it's getting heated. Now the courtroom is in chaos, but I can't allow myself to lose. And not only to avoid the punishment game, but also to protect Satoko's honor. The honor of a chef. Now then, Do the defendants have a response to give? Slowly and strongly, I nod and step up to the dais. I don't know. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun. Do you two really think you can beat me with mere words? The prosecution just said that we should value the gift without basing it on spirit of the giver. Correct? At some point I began speaking formally. Yes, that's right. No matter how much you labored to make that bento, that labor should not factor into our grading. Then I have a question for the prosecution. If I, Moribar, were to take the bento I made today and place it beside one brought from the store, would both of these be given in the same score? The prosecution hesitated to speak. Gotcha! That's right. A convenience store bento doesn't even come close to a homemade one. No matter how badly made it is, it has far more spirit than a bento that you just bought. Would never ever have, my bad. You see, that spirit is being graded. Meaning, the spirit of the cook put into the bento has already reached the recipient. Admit it! With those impactful words drawn in the air behind me, I pointed my finger. The girls, led by Reina, broke into applause. Some of the boys were admitting it too. Gah, I'll admit it. You admitted it? You admitted it, right? Then let's move to why a convenience store bento has no spirit in it. What exactly is the spirit in a bento in the first place? Ah, shit. Objection! Moribar-san is trying to deceive the court by using abstract expressions. Oh, he's not. He's just asking what exactly is the spirit in a bento in the first place. Objection overruled. This sounds interesting, so listen until he's done. Got him. Now, I'll show you the difference between us. Your Honor, I'd like to call Mrs. Rika Furude to the stand as a witness. Oh shit. Even for Rika-chan, that must have seemed like a bolt up from the blue. There's no doubt that she never dreamed the point of my spear would be aiming at her. But Rika, you said it before. For this showdown, it doesn't matter. Rika Furude-san, your bento today was very well made. It looks delicious. Uh-oh. Meat? Yes. Satoko and Rika's bento has been made of half of Tomita and half in Okamura's. The prosecutor's faces turned pale, but they were too late. Reina, would you bring Okamura-kun's... Oh no. Oh my gosh, bro, come on. You can't betray them like this. Huh? Okay, sure. Your Honor, my bento has no relevance to this case. Overruled. Your Honor, I submit Okamura-kun's bento box as evidence. Look at it. Look at what's inside. There's only half in there. It's not about whether it's half. Please look at it a little bit more closely. See? They're exactly the same! Your Honor, you've seen it! Miss Rika Furude's bento is stolen from Okamura-kun's. There's no way such a thing could have spirit in it. No, but that's just a coincidence. It's already obvious. Spirit is a game of catch between the giver and the receiver. The bento box then is the ball. That bento has something Okamura has given from mother to son. That means Okamura is the only one who can feel the spirit of this bento box. Now that it's been disturbed and been stolen, it no longer has that spirit. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that did it. Huh? What? Is that true? Rika, is that true? Bruh. I see how it is. Mion Judge folded her arms and began to hum. I can't even take a guess as for what Mion was laughing about. Frankly, I didn't know whether I would win or lose. Okay, before announcing my judgment, I'll start from the top. Shh. The entire class quieted. First, from an objective standpoint, there is no doubt that the bento of the accused Keiichi Maribara must be seen as poorly made. This is something that the grading results clearly display. Gah. But as Kei-chan said, cooking is not all about taste. The spirit put into it should be considered subtle seasoning. For grading, though, that'd be only amount to a few points. It's so subtle that it's not enough to alter the results. Gah. Now then, I'd like to mention the original reason for today's bento showdown. What was the reason for it? That's right. We started to see whether the accused, Keiichi Maribara, could cook for himself and to measure the results. Yeah, that's right. Keiichi-kun did make his own bento. That stung my conscience a little bit, but for the showdown, it didn't matter. So the whole basis behind the showdown was to cook a meal for yourself. In other words, whether or not the meal was homemade. Right. Rika-chan's neglecting to do that is much bigger problem than how good her bento is. Oh wait, no, she's still talking. Rika-chan neglecting to do that is a much bigger problem than how good her bento is. In other words, she is disqualified? Nippon! Rika-chan let a Nippon, looking as though she had prepared herself for this outcome. But don't take it personally, Rika-chan. At our club, things like that don't matter. Keiichi did well, like I thought. You tried your hardest until the very end. Rika-chan demanded I lower my head, then she petted. With that over with, the case is closed. Today's last place goes to Rika Furude! Woo! What? The miraculous turnaround. And the last place went to Rika-chan, the one everyone had least expected it. Is she really gonna take that? I don't believe that. There's no way. There's no way she's gonna take that. The whole classroom went wild. I'm amazed you managed to avoid coming in last place with such a terrible bento. Satoko looked at me hatefully, but spoke in a vague kind of voice. There's no way I'd come in last. There's nothing in this bento that would deserve last place. W. But it's got ready-made side dishes and canned goods. It has no style, and grab. Satoko was speaking more and more poorly of herself as time went on, so I roughly grabbed her head and began to stroke it. I told you, the spirit is more important. This bento isn't all about appearance. It's got all kinds of flavor in it. But spirit isn't the only thing. It tastes totally weird, and what about it is weird? I thought it was great. It was absolutely great. That's why I packed it. If dinner last night had been bad, then I would never have brought it to school. I would have come here with some bread and a milk carton. Damn. Bread and a milk carton. I don't know if that's good, but but oh, just shut up already. I caressed her head, swinging it from side to side. At some point, Rina had come up behind us. She was giggling to herself. That was the face of someone who had known everything from the beginning. When did you realize I hadn't made it? When you showed us your burns, I guess. I mean, there's nothing in your bento that you needed to oil for. Damn. I guess everyone else is just stupid. Reina-san, don't you think you're misunderstanding something? I didn't do anything. Huh? Satoru-chan, you weren't the one who made this bento? Then did Keiichi make it all by himself after all? Okay, then I guess he did. Reina smiled roguishly and turned from Satoko to me. Roguishly. When you cut cucumbers, you should hold the knife like this, and go like this. As for colors, you can express all sort of things if you place vegetables in the right way. This lecture was clearly not meant for me. But you've gotten a lot better since last time you showed us. I see you've been studying. If you keep this up, I bet you'll be able to make better and better dishes in no time. She continued saying words clearly meant for Satoko while facing me and said, Satoko was wearing an ambiguous look. Bro, roguish. Ambiguous. Bro, imagine using these words in real life. Well, I'm sure people do, but like very rarely. Whatever. Roguish. She wore a roguish smile as she turned to me. Satoko was wearing an ambiguous look and couldn't even nod her head at her. Anyway, no matter what anyone says, I like the way my bento is today. And I'm not gonna anyway, no matter what anyone says, I like the way my bento was today, and I'm not gonna share with anyone else either. I'll eat the whole thing by myself. Wow, how greedy. Reina wants to try some too. As we were going back and forth, Satoko rubbed her eyes as though she was drowsy, and announced to me and everyone else. Excuse me, the truth is, I got Tomita-san to give me some of his bento. Stupid! Hojo, what are you saying? If she kept it a secret, then at least she would have been saved. Tomita-kun looked at her with an expression filled with regret and surprise. Huh? Is that true? Really? Oh my. Mion spun her finger around and pointed at the hallway, sensing Satoko to the punishment game as well. Satoko left the classroom behind her, completely prepared as though she was going with Rika-chan on an errand. I can't let Rika go alone. I'll accompany her to the very depths of hell. For real? W. Satoko. You don't need to go that far. My word, Keiichi-san really is terrible too. Humiliating only Rika like that. He's truly a rotten person. I didn't mean... I can just return Satoko's kindness with malice. Hey, Satoko really is silly. Rika-chan spoke so that only I could hear, grinning happily. Now then, let us be off, Rika. Punishment games are one of our duties as club members. Satoko seemed awfully happy and not frustrated. Not frustrated in the slightest, like she always has when she lost. Damn, Rika-chan's alright after all. Everyone here's a moron. Mion, I'll come clean too. I didn't make my bento today. I was the same. So I'm going with them. For the punishment game. Damn. Huh? Even you, Kei-chan? What's going on? Ho, good luck. With the punishment game, I mean. I'll get the first aid kit ready. Call an ambulance in advance, will you? And maybe what? A hearse? A hearse? What the fuck? Bro, what are these words? Roguish. Okay, roguish, I have kind of like rogue. Like literally rogue, kinda. And like ambiguous, okay. Ambiguous? Ambiguous? Is that how you say it? Ambiguous? Unfortunately, I'm gonna need to end this episode early. But hey, it was fun. I mean, I didn't learn anything because I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. I knew I could understand, like, mostly. Like well, not the shits, but like I could tell what they were talking about. Like, I know what a bento is. It's like a lunchbox. Well, imagine like a lunchbox, but like you just put the food in instead of like usually, like, well, there's different kinds of lunch, but yeah, I understood it. It was pretty alright. It's just when they started talking about like certain like foods or using like weird words like roguish. What is this? Hearish? Hearse? I don't know what that is, but hey, it's pretty fun. I'll see you guys next Saturday or Monday or whatever, whenever this episode gets released. So yeah, it was fun, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day or good night or good afternoon. Goodbye.